Opening scene. The Wall of Silence. In the southern part of Dhaka stands a women's prison, old grey and forgotten by most. By day, it looks ordinary. But when the sun goes down, the walls seem to whisper secrets of horror. Inside those walls, behind the iron bars, countless women live in fear, not of their sentences, but of the nights that never end. Every evening, when the prison lights dim, a new nightmare begins. Footsteps echo in the corridors. Locks click open one by one. And then silence, followed by muffled cries no one dares to hear. The guards on duty pretend not to notice. The prisoners have learned one rule: silence means survival. For months, whispers of abuse had circulated in hushed tones. But no one in authority listened. That was until one woman, a fearless police officer named Superintendent Janatul Feridis, decided to uncover the truth. It was a quiet afternoon at the Dhaka police headquarters. SP Janatul Feridis sat behind her desk, reviewing reports, when a timid knock broke her concentration. A man entered, middle-aged, nervous, his eyes darting toward the floor. His name was Hamid, a low-ranking employee at the women's prison. "Madam," he began softly, his hands trembling, "I need to tell you something." "Something terrible." Janatal looked up from her papers. "Speak, Hamid, what's wrong?" He hesitated. Inside the prison, the female inmates are being abused at night by the officers themselves. They take women from their cells, force them, and if anyone speaks, she disappears. The words hung in the air like poison. Janatul's face hardened. "Are you sure about this?" she asked. Hamid nodded. "Yes, madame. I've seen it with my own eyes, but I can't prove it. I've stayed silent for months, because I know what they do to people who talk." That night, after Hamid left, Janatal couldn't sleep. She kept thinking of those women, voiceless, trapped, helpless. If what Hamid said was true, this wasn't just corruption, it was a crime against humanity. The next day, she quietly began checking files related to the prison. In the past year, 5 inmates had been taken to hospitals, all under the vague note "sudden illness." But when she read the medical details, she froze. Each report mentioned bruises, internal injuries, trauma. Something was terribly wrong. The paper trail was there, but incomplete. To expose this rot, she needed more than reports, she needed evidence. But a normal inspection wouldn't work. The moment the staff heard of her visit, they would cover everything up. So she made a radical decision. She would enter the prison herself, not as an officer, but as an inmate. 2 days later, inside a locked conference room, Janatul met with 3 trusted colleagues, 2 officers and a female constable. She told them about Hamid's testimony and her plan. "I'll go in disguised as a prisoner," she said calmly. Her colleagues stared in disbelief. "Madam, that's too dangerous," one protested. "If they find out who you are, they could kill you." Janatul looked up, her eyes steady. "If I let fear stop me, then I have no right to wear this uniform, using forged case documents, a fake court order, and a new identity. Ayesha Begum, accused of theft, her record was inserted into the prison registry. Her transformation was complete. The next day, the woman known as SP Janatul Ferdis vanished, and Ayesha Begum, a supposed petty thief, entered Dhaka Women's Prison. From the moment she stepped inside, the air felt different, thick, stale, suffocating. The prison was dark and damp. Women sat silently in corners, their faces hollow, their eyes empty. Some whispered prayers, others stared at the ground, lost in their own pain. When she was shown to her cell, a thin woman next to her leaned closer and whispered, "Be careful tonight, sister. Don't make noise. Don't look at anyone." Janatul asked quietly. "Why?" The woman didn't answer. She just turned her face away, tears rolling down her cheeks. That night, around 2 in the morning, the silence was shattered by footsteps. The jingle of keys echoed through the corridor. A cell door opened somewhere nearby. A muffled scream followed, then nothing. Moments later, the sound of boots stopped outside Janatul's cell. The lock turned. The door creaked open. 2 men entered, both wearing police uniforms. One of them, tall and muscular, sneered, "New face, huh? Come out, it's your turn tonight." Janatul didn't move. "I'm not going anywhere," she said firmly, but the man laughed. "Feisty one. Don't worry, we'll teach you how things work here." As he reached to grab her arm, Janatul stood up, eyes blazing. Her voice dropped to a chilling calm. "Do you have any idea who you're touching?" The men hesitated. Janatul pulled a small microphone from her dress. "My name is SP Janatul Ferdis," she said slowly. "And everything you've done tonight is being recorded." Chapter 6. The unmasking. The officers froze, disbelief washing over their faces. Madam, you," one stammered. "Yes," she said coldly. "And you will tell me everything." The men fell to their knees, trembling. "Please, madam, don't report us. We were ordered. Ordered by whom?" They exchanged frightened glances. Finally, one whispered, "Deputy Inspector Theron and the duty in charge Officer Azar. They control everything. Even some senior officials know." The confession confirmed her worst fears. This was no small case. It was systemic corruption rooted deep within the institution. The next morning, still posing as a prisoner, Janatul secretly met her undercover team outside the facility's back gate. She handed them her recordings and instructed, "Tonight, capture everything. No mistakes." That night, hidden cameras were planted across the prison in corridors, guard rooms, and storage areas. Every abuse, every threat, every cruel act was documented. Hours of footage captured the grim truth that had been buried for years. At dawn, she walked out of the prison in silence. Her mission inside was complete. Now it was time to reveal the truth. At police headquarters, a confidential meeting was called. When Janatul entered with her laptop, the room fell silent. Top officials, investigators, and ministers watched as she played the footage. The room grew colder with every passing minute. Women crying, guards laughing, officers behaving like predators. The truth was undeniable. When the screen went black, the police commissioner stood up, pale-faced. "These men will never wear our uniform again," he said. That afternoon, a special task force raided the women's prison. All accused officers were arrested on the spot. For the first time, the prisoners saw their abusers in handcuffs. Justice had finally entered through the same gates that once hid evil. In the following weeks, investigations expanded. More officers were suspended. The prison administration was completely restructured. A new system was introduced: female lonely night shifts, CCTV monitoring, and direct reporting to the Human Rights Commission. The story made headlines across Bangladesh. People were shocked that such horror had existed in silence for so long. But amidst all the outrage, one name stood above the rest: SP Janital Fairdas, the woman who risked her life to expose the truth. A month later, she returned to the same prison, not as a spy, not as an officer on duty, but as a woman who had kept her promise. When she walked through the courtyard, dozens of female inmates rushed to meet her. Some cried, some smiled. One of them held her hand and whispered, "Madam, you gave us back our dignity." Janital smiled softly. "No," she said. "You gave me strength. Your courage kept me going." Epilogue: The light beyond darkness today. The Dhaka women's prison stands reformed. The dark nights of abuse have ended. The women who once cried in silence now have access to legal aid, counseling, and education. But the story of one brave woman continues to inspire thousands. SP Janital proved that courage is not about power or position. It's about doing what's right, even when the whole world looks away. Her name became a symbol of justice, of truth, and of the fight against a system that thought it could silence the powerless. Because in the end, when one woman dares to speak the truth, an entire nation begins to listen. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more romantic stories like this. I'll see you again in another new video. Until then, take care, stay healthy, and stay safe. Wishing you all the best. Goodbye for now, and thank you.